Hey guys, it's Pete from Crunch Time Coaching, and Conor McGregor Mayweather fight last night, and I thought it was very interesting. Just so many things about boxing correlate to tennis, and so many things that we really, as tennis players, need to learn from boxing if we want to become better tennis players. So I thought I would talk about that, especially when I was giving my lesson today. It became how we need to think more like boxers. And I'm going to go through some of these examples. I see that some people are coming in. I'll check my page so I can see if we have any comments coming in. So hopefully this will be a fun conversation that we have here. Let me go to that page real quick, and I'll make sure that I turn down the volume so I don't hear anybody. But as I'm kind of getting there, let me know if you where you're from and if you watched the night and what you thought about it. I know a lot of people, McGregor, much of a chance, and then of course there's always the people who say it's fixed and things like that. How's it going? Okay is first. But anyway, I know a lot of people say boxing's fixed, this is fixed, that's fixed, and I thought that very intriguing. I think as tennis players, we need to learn more from boxing. Like, we need to take a lot of those lessons. And number one is focus. I was today, and hello from the Netherlands, very cool. I was teaching a girl today, and wasn't focused. She literally missed balls into the fence all over the place, and I knew that she could do much better. But you know, the consequences of missing a tennis ball, it's a lot different and getting hit. So our focus, we let it go too much, and you missed this shot, do 100 jumping jacks in a row before I fed the ball that she was going to make the shot, because I knew the only reason she was missing was that she just was not, she was just not there. She was just not focused. And so I fed the ball in, and of course she gets set. She hits a perfect forehand with top spin, not even close to a line. Beautiful shot to the whole lesson. And boxing, they are so much more aware of what their opponent is doing and what their opponent's trying to tactically do. They're looking for traps. They're looking for certain moves that they know, like if their opponent does it, that they're trying to get them. And with tennis players, we're just not even thinking lots of times what's going on the other side. We're not even aware of what spin is coming. Our guard is so down. Like more tennis players to think about is every time your opponent balance punch on you. Like, I want it to bother you that your feet lose your balance. You see, if a boxer's boxing and they start to let their guard down, a ready position. What's our guard in tennis? Being in a ready position. Just people don't even do that. That basic thing. The boxers are up here. The tennis players need to be in that ready position and be on your toes and get a split step. The reason why you're doing all that is that you've got to defend is throwing at you, the punches that they're throwing at you. But too many tennis players, they just don't take that. No matter how much the coach says, you got to move your feet, you got to prepare, you got to be in a ready position. Don't buy into it, because feeling is they're just like, well, I just lost the point, you know, or I'm in practice and I just hit another ball out and the coach is going to feed me another shot here in a second. And a tennis player, that's the wrong way to go about your practices and your matches. I want you to look at it and think of it just like when doing that to you. Every time you get knocked out, every time you get knocked off balance, you stumble a little bit for a ball here, you don't get back to the middle before your opponent hits the next shot. I want you to take it as you just got hit. You're about to get knocked out here. In a second, you're either going to miss the shot or your opponent's going to hit a winner. Out of topic, but I want to ask you when Matt. No, I'm just going to stay with the boxing analogy. Okay, it's cool to see these people coming in. Another thing too. On this is not going to be a long broadcast, but another thing I just want to get out there. Fitness is so important in tennis, and we're just not taking it seriously enough. Why did Mayweather eventually knock? He said that his strategy was, in that fight, going to take McGregor's blows in the beginning, that he was going to go toe-to-toe with him the whole time, always moving forward, and he was going to take McGregor's best shots, tire McGregor out, and then look to really take the offense. And that is exactly what happened if you watch that fight. Is in the beginning, I was thinking, oh my gosh, you know, it looks like McGregor has a chance. It looks like McGregor might take it to him, just like he said he was going to do. The fight, it became apparent what was going on, that McGregor was tired. And that is was able to knock him out. Is Mayweather was used to going 12 rounds, and it was part of his game plan. It was his strategy. By the end, McGregor had basically punched himself out. He had nothing left. In the MMA, he's used to much shorter boxing rounds. I think they only got 5 rounds as opposed to 12. So he was completely tired. That's why Mayweather knocked him out. Not because Mayweather was so powerful. It's like he just used his mind, and he basically wore him down. Again, we're not think Mayweather is of tennis. Who is the Mayweather of tennis? Oh, that's a good question. I would say Rafa of tennis, right? Rafa can start out slow, but by the end you're exhausted, and he gets you, right? So what Mayweather's famous for is his defense and grinding and wearing you out. Djokovic, I guess you could also say, it's like letting you beat yourself. And Mayweather usually does that without having to knock. Last night, his strategy was to try and knock McGregor out, and he was able to do that just by getting him tired. And was the first one to say after the fight, like, I was exhausted, I was tired. And if you really take pride in your fitness, and by the way, McGregor said that he trained his butt off for that. He trained so hard for that fight. So they were both in great fitness. But again, player, and you're not taking your fitness seriously, doing the same thing to yourself. You might go out there and you might be playing certain people that you're way better than, and you might start out hot, and by the end you got nothing left in the tank. You start getting sloppy. You start letting. Why do you not move your feet? Why do you not split step? Why do you not stay in a ready position? Because you're not trained physically to do that. You're not putting a premium on your fitness, and a premium on being ready, and a premium on defense, and being able to go the distance. All things that boxers put a heavy premium on. McGregor was afraid. He knew a big concern was, am I going to be able to last 12 rounds? And he trained really, really hard. He prepared about as good as he could prepare, as what he said, and it still wasn't enough. And I want you to ask yourself, when you go out on a match, go a long third set, are you still able to be balanced? Are you still able to chase down balls? Are you still able to fight for the last point? That's what you need to be able to do if you want to be a good tennis player, and take that stuff a lot more serious, because for them, they are feeling the pain of not being prepared. And I guess that's what this is really about, is as a tennis player, even though you're not getting hit physically, because a boxer, when they lose, they must think, oh, I don't want to go through that again. That's never going to happen. That really hurt. When I was too tired and was too tired to fight back, and I started to get hit over and over again in the face, feel that again. So I'm going to train even for my next fight. Where tennis players, it doesn't hurt. I mean, maybe a little bit, you're tired afterwards, but in general, you know, maybe your feelings get a little hurt after a match. You know, maybe you feel depressed for a day, but it doesn't hurt enough up in the mirror and go, I am never letting that happen again. I am not going to lose a match in the third set because I'm just too darn tired to fight. You know, we don't do that enough. You know, when a ball and you don't run for it, a lot of times we just give ourselves the excuse like, oh, that was a lucky shot. Boxers shots beat them. They're prepared for lucky shots. Their job is to be looking out for the lucky shot, because like so many people go, well, what if McGregor could get off that lucky shot and then knock out Mayweather? It didn't happen because Mayweather is so prepared and he's so good at what he does that you're not going to beat him with a lucky shot. He sees the lucky shots. Always on guard. Where a lot of times tennis players are not on guard, so lucky shots beat you. Different looks beat you. All of a sudden someone hits a slice ball. That's enough to throw you off. Where boxers are prepared for every look. They're prepared to go the distance in their training, because physically they're going to get really badly hurt. Tennis players need, even though you're not going to experience that physical pain, it to bother you when you don't chase down a ball, when you're missing shots because you're too tired. Every time you hit a shot and you're off balance, personally, what you want is for someone to hit a shot before you lose any type of balance. Decent shots and you're stumbling around to get to the ball, your job. So learn from last night's fight and think more like a boxer, and feel the next time you go out on the court, really be honest with yourself and analyze where you are. That's another thing that boxers have to do. They have to be able to look in themselves in the mirror and go, you know, I'm not physically prepared for this fight. I'm going to get killed in there. And you as a tennis player to think more like that. If I go in today the way I am, compete the way I need to compete. And so you got to be honest with yourself. You got to work harder. The little things, the little matches, being in good shape, position, split stepping before every ball, making sure that you hit as many balls on balance with as good a technique as possible. Breakdown in a boxing ring is done. They're going to start getting their head beat in, and they don't want to just hurt too bad. Tennis players, it doesn't really hurt us. So we just accept these imperfections about our game, and we never work on it to get to the next level. That's the message today, guys. Get inspired by the fight last night. Whether you're I'm not actually a big fan of boxing, because I'm not a big fan of violent sports. But at the same time, I respect the way, the discipline that these guys have, the way they prepare for anything. That's the message of the day, guys. But can I explain how to play free in a match? Well, you can play more free in a match the more you're prepared. The more you're prepared to go out there and do battle, the more you know, you'll play with a lot more freedom, physically and mentally ready, that their technique is right, that they've done everything they possibly could. McGregor came out after that fight happy because, but he was honest with himself too. He still analyzed it and said, you know, I'm still not in the shape to go 12 rounds. I still need to be in better shape, but darn it, I did everything I think I could have done in that amount of time I was given to train. And since it was my first fight, I went in as well prepared as possible. And the more you can go in there, you can look at something in common after playing tennis. But the more you can go in there and know that you are absolutely prepared, I think it helps you play more free. You know you've done everything you could. You're confident in what you've done. On the U.S. Open, men and women. Real quick, I don't know. I mean, I think it all depends. If Federer is healthy, I think Federer is going to win, but that's a big if. We don't know, you know, and he prepared for the tournament the way he'd like to, because he didn't get to play Cincinnati, so himself in the tournament a little bit. Confident doesn't look top form. I mean, I don't think anybody looks top form right now. So it could be where we see somebody we don't really see holding the trophy at the end. That could happen. We might see a Zverev breakthrough. We might see, you know, a crazy thing like a Kyrgios serve his way through the tournament. We might see a Cilic win. We might see a Dimitrov win, or we could easily just see a Roger or Rafa win. I think it's more up for grabs than any other time, which is kind of interesting and good. The women with Rutha, she's hot. She won the Cincinnati tournament leading up to it. She won Wimbledon, so she's the favorite there. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe this video, and make sure that you take your game, fight harder, get in better shape, and do the little things. Everybody, your goal this week is to go out and play tennis. I want you to split step every time your opponent hits the ball. Can you do that? Are you willing to do that? I know your coach asks you to do it all the time, but when you go out there by yourself playing, are you making sure that you're split stepping? Are you making sure you have a strong ready position for you this week? So good luck with your tennis. Sir, every time someone makes you come off balance, winner on you, I want you to just pretend that you just got punched in the face. Are you doing everything possible on your side of the court to make sure it doesn't happen again? So that's it. Hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully you got something out of it. And we'll see you on future videos. Okay, guys? Don't forget to comment and subscribe.